Our next step for the gingerbread houses is to go over the equipment that you'll need. Some of it is more specialized and other of it is stuff that you should already have, and you can always make substitutions. So first of all, you're going to need some wax paper, and the wax paper will become quite useful for rolling out your cookie dough. Unless you have a silicone surface in which to roll things out on, or you have a nice pastry board, I recommend covering your counter with wax paper and then just rolling everything out on that. It makes cleanup really easy, and it also ensures that nothing's going to stick. You'll also need some aluminum foil, but I'll get into that reason in just a moment. You'll need a rolling pin for rolling out your cookie dough. And then most importantly, of course, you will need your house cookie cutters. Now you can go about this in two different ways. You can either get special cookie cutters for making the different parts of the house. We have the side, a roof, and then the other side of your house. You'll also perhaps want some trees for background, so it's not just a house, you have some trees in the background as well. Now these are special three-dimensional cookie cutters, which you can find at kitchen supply stores. But you can also just cut out your own. It's very easy. Just use tracing paper to measure out the dimensions of your house and then cut it out onto cardboard, and then you can use the cardboard to cut out your dough. Use it as a stencil for cutting it out. You can do that and they'll cost you absolutely nothing. You'll also need for decorating, you'll need at least one pastry bag and then a coupler and some tips. The elaborateness of the tips is totally up to your comfort level in decorating various things. You can also, if you don't want to use the tips for decorating, but you need to have frosting piped onto the edges to hold your house together, you can put it in a plastic bag and then just snip the edge off and use that for piping your frosting out. It's a very simple, easy, cheap way of doing it without getting all of the specialized equipment. And then the reason that you're going to need the foil is because you're going to need a surface to put your gingerbread houses on. I'm going to use a cutting board, which I have flipped over onto a smooth side instead of the cutting side on the other side. You can either use a large cutting board, you can also use some really heavy cardboard, but regardless, you're going to want to cover it in aluminum foil, both to protect the surface and to give yourself a nice smooth surface to work on.